students, good morning everyone. So we are studying our 11th lesson, that is the reflection of light, and in previous lecture we have studied about the image formation by using a concave mirror, okay, and in that topic we have studied short tricks, okay, in order to remember all that chart that we have given in the textbook on page number 122, okay. So by using simple tricks, how to remember all that chart, it means if we change the position of the object, then how the position of the image will get changed, what will be the nature of the image, what will be the size of the image, all these things we can remember, okay. So we have studied all these concepts in previous lecture, but now in today's lecture, today's video, we have to study about the image formation by using a convex mirror, okay. And for that we have to draw a simple diagram for that convex mirror. So now let us consider, this is a convex mirror. You can see this outer side of the convex mirror is reflecting and the inner side is coating, okay. Then we consider this is the principal axis which is passing through the pole of the mirror. So this is the pole of the mirror. Then after that we have to place the object at any position in front of the mirror. There is no condition actually in case of convex mirror, okay. So we have to place our object at this position. Consider this is object AB in front of the mirror. Then we have to consider two more positions for this convex mirror. So the first point, that is the focus, and the another point, center of curvature. And in previous lecture I told you the principal focus of convex mirror is always behind the mirror. So consider this is the principal focus and double of its distance, that is the center of curvature, okay. Because we know in focal length of a mirror is always half of the radius of curvature, okay. So we consider these 2 points for a convex mirror. Then after that, in order to draw the ray diagrams, how we get the image. So in order to draw that ray diagrams, we have to follow the 3 rules that we have studied in previous lectures, okay. Now what are these 3 rules that you know? The first rule, what is the first rule? If the incident ray passing parallel to the principal axis, it is moving parallel to the principal axis, then after reflection it passes through the principal focus, okay. So this is the first rule that we have to remember and we have to use in this ray diagram. So consider this is a ray which is parallel to this principal axis. This ray is AS which is parallel to this principal axis, and after reflection, actually convex lens is also called as diverging lens. So after reflection it will move away, okay, it will move away, but we can imagine that that reflected ray is passing through this principal focus like this. So this is the reflected ray, we can call it as ST, okay, and this reflected ray is moving away from this convex mirror, but you can just imagine that this reflected ray is passing through this principal focus, okay. Then this is the first rule that we have followed. Now what is the last rule? What is that last rule? If the incident ray is passing through the center of curvature, then after reflection the ray will move along the same path but in backward direction, okay. So we consider the another ray which is passing through this center of curvature. Now let us consider this is the second ray. Consider this second ray which meets to this center of curvature, okay. Why I draw here the dotted lines? Because actually the rays will not pass behind the mirror. Rays will not passing behind the mirror, but we just can imagine that this incident ray is passing through this center of curvature. This is all imaginary, that's why we draw here the dotted lines, okay. And now after reflection, as this incident ray AQ is passing through this center of curvature, therefore after reflection it will move along the same path in backward direction, okay. So this is the direction of that reflected ray, along the same path in backward direction, okay. Now you can see these two reflected rays will never meet to each other because they are moving away from each other, isn't it? So these are the same side of the mirror. But you can see here these rays meet to each other at a point behind the mirror. So here we get the image of this object AB. We can call it as A dash B dash. Okay. So we get here the image because these dotted lines means these are the reflected rays. No. So these reflected rays meet to each other at the back side of the mirror, and we get such an image A dash B dash behind the mirror. And you can see what is the nature of the image. This image is erect, isn't it? This is an erect image. Okay. Then second, the erect image is always virtual. Okay, I told you. And why it is virtual? Because it is not obtained by actually meeting these reflected rays to each other. Okay, these reflected rays are not actually meet to each other. Therefore, this image is not a real image. This is a virtual image. Okay, and the size of the image is smaller than that of the object. No, therefore we get a diminished image. Okay, you can see here we get a diminished image, and hence in case of convex mirror you just have to remember only this one thing, that the formation of image that does not depends on the position of the object. Though we place the object at any position in front of the mirror, we get erect, virtual and diminished image behind the mirror. Okay, so this is the only one condition that we have to remember. Only one thing, that if we take this object away from the mirror, okay, if we move this object away from the mirror, then the size of this image goes on decreasing. Okay, it becomes smaller and smaller. Remember this. Okay, so this is about the image formation by convex mirror. We completed this topic, image formation of convex mirror, and then after that we have to study the next topic, that is the convergence and divergence of light. Remember, you have to study all these diagrams very carefully. You have to practice it at home. Convergence and divergence of light. Okay. So, in that case, we have to take 5 sticks of matchbox. Okay, we have to take 5 sticks of matchbox, and we have to arrange all these 5 sticks in such a way that their heads are coming, means meet to each other. Okay, like this. Suppose this is the first stick, another stick, third stick, so here we consider these are the 5 sticks of the matchbox, and their heads are meet to each other. Okay, you can see their heads are meet to each other, and the another ends they are moving away. Okay, so in this case we can say that the heads of the matchsticks are converged. Okay, we can say the heads of these matchsticks are converged. Converge means meet to each other. Okay, and this is called as the convergence of light. And here we can see this convergence of light. Yes, that is correct in case of concave mirror. Already we have studied that diagram in the concept of principal focus. Okay, so let us consider this is a concave mirror. If you consider, let us take this concave mirror. This is the principal axis of the concave mirror, and if we take a parallel beam of light which is parallel to this principal axis is incident on that concave mirror like this. These are the parallel rays incident on this concave mirror. Then after reflection, all these rays will converge at a single point in front of the mirror. Okay, after reflection, all these rays converge at a single point in front of the mirror like this. So these are the reflected rays. The ray which is moving along the principal axis, that should be perpendicular to the surface of the mirror. Therefore, that ray will be reflected along the same path in backward direction. Remember this. Okay. So the remaining all the rays will converge at a single point in front of the mirror, and that point is called as the principal focus. And you can see here all these rays are converged at a single point. It means this is the convergence of light. This is called as convergence of light, and therefore that's why this concave mirror is also called as focusing mirror. Okay, what is it called? Focusing mirror, or it is also called as converging mirror. Converging mirror. Okay, so you have to remember all these parallel words. This mirror is also called as focusing mirror or converging mirror. Okay, because after reflection, all these parallel rays are meet to each other at a single point on this principal axis, which is called as the principal focus. And already we have studied this diagram in the previous lectures. Okay, so this is about the convergence of light. Then after that, consider if we take these 5 matchsticks, same, and then if we arrange these matchsticks in such a way that their heads are moving away from each other and the another ends are meet to each other like this. Okay, so another ends, they are meet to each other and their heads are moving away from each other. Then that is called as the divergence. Okay, that is called as the heads of the matchsticks are diverged from each other, and that concept related to light is called as the divergence of light. Okay, now here we can see this divergence of light. Okay, that is seen in case of convex mirror. Suppose if we take a diagram for a convex mirror, let us draw that diagram. Already I told, means I have teach you how to draw that diagram for a convex mirror in case of a principal focus. So we take here a convex mirror, and if a parallel beam of light is incident on this convex mirror, which is parallel to this principal axis, this is the principal axis, then after reflection all these rays will be moving away from each other, means they are diverging from each other. Okay, like this. These all the rays are diverging from each other. These are all the reflected ray, and the ray which is moving parallel to the principal axis, means the ray which is moving along the principal axis, that is perpendicular to the mirror, therefore it will move along the same path in backward direction. Okay, so all these reflected rays are moving away from each other, same condition like this. Okay, and that is called as the divergence of light. Okay, this is called divergence of light. Therefore this convex mirror is also called as dispersing mirror or diverging mirror. Okay, this is also called as dispersing mirror. So remember all these things. What do you mean by the convergence and the divergence of light? Okay, so this is the diagram that is related to this concept. Okay, so now we completed here these 2 topics, and one more topic that I have to teach you, that is the how to identify the nature of the mirror, either it is a concave mirror or convex mirror. How to identify concave or convex mirror and convex mirror. Okay, so how to identify either it is a concave mirror or convex mirror? Then in that case we know, in case of concave mirror we have studied all the conditions, means if we change the position of the object, how we will get the image. So the last condition, what is that? If we place the object very close to the mirror, then what will be the nature of the image? So in case of concave mirror, if we place the object very close to the mirror, then what will be the nature of the image? The image should be erect, then it is a virtual, and it is a magnified image. Okay, it means if in case of a concave mirror if we place the object within the focus. This is the last case, okay? If we place the object within the focus, then we get the image behind the mirror, isn't it? And that image should be erect, virtual and magnified. Vertical image we obtain, okay? And therefore, we can use this concave mirror for shaving, means in salons for shaving purpose, we can use this concave mirror in order to see the magnified image of our face. It means if we place or if we held the face very close to that concave mirror, then we can get that erect, virtual and magnified image, and that's why we use this concave mirror in salons for a shaving purpose, okay? Now let us consider the second, convex mirror. So this convex mirror, there is no condition whether we place the object at any position in front of that convex mirror, then the image formation, what will be the nature of the image? That image is always erect, virtual and diminished. Okay, so this convex mirror, if we place the object at any position, then in all the positions we always get erect, virtual and diminished image, means the size of the image is smaller than that of the object. That does not depend on the position of the object, remember. But if we move the object away from the mirror, then the size of the image goes on decreasing. It means it becomes smaller and smaller, and that's why this convex mirror we can use in case of cars, okay? Side mirrors, there are side mirrors for a car and motorcycles, so we can use that convex mirror in that side mirrors, okay, of that cars and motorcycles. So by using the positions or the nature of the image, we can identify either it is convex or concave, okay? So just by checking the nature of the image, we can identify either that mirror is concave or convex, okay? So now let us stop here. Thank you and have a nice day.